The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
Black Sea Resort Gonio will soon have a 5-star hotel, Pontus Rotana Resort and Spa Gonio. This will be Rotana's first 5-star hotel, the biggest on the Black Sea shore. The project will be run by Rotana, an international brand of high reputation, and its exclusive partner on the ground will be a Georgian development company, Pontus Development. The luxury property located in the beach suburb of Batumi is expected to open in 2026, catering to both business and leisure travelers. Integrating traditional architecture with modern living, Pontus Rotana Resort and Spa boasts 600 spacious rooms offering unobstructed views of the natural landscape. Guests staying at the property will also enjoy access to world-class gaming at the Grand Casino. The 5-star property will offer an additional range of services and amenities, including a private beach, exquisite dining venues, a serene spa, indoor and outdoor swimming pools, a fully equipped wellness and fitness center, as well as a dedicated interactive kids play zone. More in Georgi Sakadze's interview with both top management of Pontus Development, Irakli Varshalomidze and Nika Bolkwadze, and of Rotana, Philip Barnes and Eddie Tanos.
This is Pontus Rotana. Da ყველანი აქ არიან. ვიწყებთ. დინევა ირაკლი. სასიამოვნო. სალომი გიორგი. ვიკა, გამარჯობა. Pleasure meeting you, Philip.
Phil, nice to meet you.
Eddie,
Nice to see you.
I followed your interview. It was over here,
was
correct?
good?
Yeah, it was fine.
Excellent.
Yeah, did he do all right?
He was straight.
Oh, okay, good. Because otherwise we have to fire him.
I hope you're much better, sir. Okay. We can go inside and begin, eh? Please.
Right.
Thank you. Phil, I'm always so much interested whenever I'm talking with the CEOs of the companies to speak about their competitive advantages. Tell us more about Rotana. I think you're the best who can deliver some messages.
Rotana to me has this remarkable DNA, and that's what makes us very special. We're a homegrown company. We started in Abu Dhabi 32 years ago. Two visionary gentlemen, our chairman and vice chairman, who saw this opportunity to grow a brand from within the region. And now we're at 77 hotels in 12 different countries. But in each and every hotel, our DNA is present, right? And it's a DNA built off hospitality. It's a DNA built off the region. You know, I first worked in the region back in 2006, 2007. And I was responsible for the whole of the Middle East. And I was astounded at the warmth and the friendliness as you went throughout the countries of the region. And that's what Rotana has built into it. When I talk about the competitors and talk about the big brands, as we call them, you know, they're American, they're British, they come from all different parts of the world. We come from the region. And that's our competitive advantage. We understand the region, we want to be a part of the region, but we're also, if I may say, we're in the hotel business, whereas many of them are in the business of hotels, which are two different things.
Is the region part of the DNA you identified? Can we feel it? I mean that Rotana is a part of it.
Yes, I very strongly. I think that when you go around and you go through our hotels and you meet our people, you have that sense, right, of being part of the region. And if you look at the people who work within Rotana, many of whom are 10, 15, 20 years, they are from all over the region, right?
Phil, tell me about the existing projects and upcoming as well. I mean, figures are quite interesting, and the project's estimates and all the rest, please.
Well, we have a lot of development, particularly in Saudi at this point in time. I want to say we have 8 operating hotels, and we have another 8 or 9 actually on the development table that are going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years. We've just opened in Medina. So we have a lot happening in Saudi. We also have quite a lot happening in Egypt, right? We have a number of projects. We've got a project opening in northern Egypt later this month. And we have another 2 or 3 projects within Egypt. So there's a lot happening in those areas specifically, but then there are other things that we're doing. We've just announced a project in Islamabad, which will be our first entry into Pakistan, and I'm hopeful that it will be one of many to come, because we have a huge market, and we have wonderful partners there, just as we have here.
Yeah, in Georgia.
And partnership is key to us. So these gentlemen, for example, are critical, because if we don't have the right partners, we're not going anywhere. We're also opening 2 centros in suburban London later this year. And again, I'm really optimistic. We have a meeting with that owner on Wednesday back in Abu Dhabi. I'm really optimistic that that will turn into a series of centros in secondary and tertiary cities throughout the UK, like Leeds, Liverpool, Manchester, etc. So all of these things are part and parcel. So our development is significant and with different brands in different locations. This brand, specifically Rotana, is absolutely the perfect brand here, right? Because the building, the location, everything about it. This is the luxury.
What's your story? What's your story in Georgia and with the gentleman, as you mentioned already?
Well, and I have to say that predates me. I'm the guy who came in lucky at the tail end, and I think I'll let Eddie talk to that relationship. So
I think in all of the interviews you've seen in the last few months, when we talk about this project, the first thing we talk about is how very proud we are to be associated with Pontus. Whenever we go into an area where we haven't operated before, choosing the right partner, I would say, is even more important than it always is. I think the strategic approach of Pontus, identifying the Middle East region as a very strong potential for Georgia, the most recent in the last 2 years collaborations between the United Arab Emirates and Georgia on a government level, on an economic level, they saw a great opportunity to go and select a brand that is, as Phil said, from the region, understands that DNA, has that DNA from within. It was music to our ears, and when we came here and we saw how organized the team is, when we saw the site, when we understood the vision, but more importantly, I would say the values that we see in Irakli, in Nika, and the rest of the team, very similar or identical in some ways to our values. And when you want to grow a partnership, this is what you look for in the beginning, and the rest is just details.
Eddie, tell me about the growth. It's been even a few months after your interview with BMJ, what I followed carefully while coming to Gonio as well. Tell me about the progress. How do you feel? The changes and things, please.
Very excited to be here today because we were here in September, so we were kind of closing the season. And I remember looking out of this specific window and seeing the first floor being built. And now we come here and we see the building already up in the sky. Listen, it's always very exciting for us to see. It's like a baby. It's like a baby in the making to see the development of the project.
It's a terrifying thought, isn't it?
Yeah. Yesterday we had the opportunity.
We could use it.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about how to make it walk.
But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not surprised. Again, the organization level that we've seen with Pontus, the level of professionalism that we've seen from day one, we see a lot of projects. We're very fortunate to see. Today we have 46 projects in the making in Rotana. I'm not surprised to see this great development going as fast and maybe faster than we expect.
Irakli, Rotana Group itself, and look, let's just change the roles while Phil and Eddie were responding in regards of yourself. Tell us about your choice in regards of partnership on behalf of Pontus about Rotana. Why Rotana Group? Because at the same time, as Phil mentioned, these guys could easily make different choice here, not Pontus, and yourself could easily make the different choice even from these big guys and things like that.
Well, from the very beginning, like when we were analyzing the market. Like we wanted to do something special, and we wanted to bring something new to the Georgian hospitality market. That was the idea how we started, and that's how we met with Rotana. In Georgia, we see like lots of hospitality international companies from US, from UK, but there was no company from Middle East. From Middle East, with Middle East culture, with Middle East history, with people from Middle East that can like bring something new to Georgian market and Georgian culture. This was the main idea from the very beginning. And then the people, you know, like we started meeting people, we started negotiation, and that brings us to the table when we like signed and shake hands. You know, this was the important part.
While mentioning Irakli, also remind me, Phil and Eddie also touched this point. Why it's so important, not just to have managing company from the region, but at the same time to construct and develop the first Arabic hotel here in the region. Why it's so important? Why we're highlighting it? Why it's so important for the market development?
Sure. As Irakli stated, in the last 7 to 10 years, our country, Georgia, has been going closer and closer with the Middle East countries. You know, in terms of politics, in the foreign policies, we see positive statements from both governments. We have had visa regulations were given up, in many instances. In terms of economics, we signed the SEPA agreement last year with the UEA. We were the 5th country to sign the SEPA agreement, and it's going to increase the economic turnover and the easiness of doing business with the Middle East. On top of it, we see the increase in the tourism numbers. Year by year, the tourists coming from the GCC countries are increasing. So we saw this potential, and we capitalized on it. In all this development and in all this integration, there was no Arabic brand to capture all of this demand. So we saw this market gap, and it was a challenge to find the right partner. And then when we found the right partner from this region, this was the time when we, as I said, capitalized on it, and when we launched our joint project in Georgia.
Guys, you're surrounded here with residential. A lot of things is happening with residential.
Yes.
Punters could easily go for residential. It's quicker. It's different, quick money, and things like that. Why your choice was running hotel business?
It's actually a very good question. As you said, it was an easier choice to go for the residential, quicker, less expensive, easier to operate. But before launching starting the project, we did a very large feasibility study, because we believe that it's essential to analyze the market, to analyze the demand, to see where the market opportunities lie. And we have hired in this process Cushman & Wakefield. It's an international, very reputable company worldwide in terms of the feasibility studies and in terms of the valuation. So they increased the credibility of our project. We are the strategic partners. And together with Cushman, we did a thorough feasibility where we found out several facts that I'm going to share, that made it very easy for us to make this selection, this choice. First, it's about the location. It's about Batumi. We saw that the that Batumi was increasing in demand. The tourist number have peaked in 2023. There were 4 million tourists. and it was 500,000 more than in 2019. So it has recovered and surpassed the point of the tourism in 2019. On top of it, we found out that 40% of all the guests were using a hotel as an accommodation. So hotel part in the staying where people stay was significant, and it was growing year by year. Third and most important from all the points, it's the worldwide ratio of hotel beds per 1,000 visitors. So worldwide average is 15 hotel beds per 1,000 visitors that visit the city, you know. While we made our research, we found out that the ratio in Batumi was 5.5 beds. So it was like, if we build 3 times more hotels in Batumi, we will reach the average. Not even the saturation figure, but
just average.
Just average. So we saw that there is there was a huge market gap. There was a huge potential for growth, and then we wanted to understand what type of hotel we wanted to construct. You know, and we followed the feasibility study, and we found out that 85% of all the visitors in Batumi arrive for the leisure. You know, for the recreation and for the leisure. Very few come for business or for the medical purposes. And the best type of the hotel is a resort type. And that's why we have created Pontus Rotana Resort and Spa in Gonio. You know, in the area which has the cleanest sea. And to get this resort and spa value, to have this integrated, we had to create all this infrastructure, you know, of the inside swimming pool,
and for the
outside swimming
5-star.
pool, and for the 5-star, yes, of course. So, and finally, you know, we found out that the occupancy rate and the ADR was much higher. You know, it's around 70% for the hotel industry, while it is maximum 40 to 50% in the residential. So taking all of this information into account, it was like a no-brainer for us to select the hotel industry. But then it was a challenge, as I said, to choose the right partner. Yeah, and it's another story, but yeah, that's why we chose the hotel industry.
As you can see, this is one of the reasons why we love working with Pontus, the strategic approach. I mean, Nika talks, he makes it look easy and he has all his numbers lined up. The easy way out is not always the more profitable, and Pontus, I think, was very strategic. If you look at Gonio today and the development that's happening around us, without giving too much information, we have a competitive advantage because of the approach that is being used. When you build a destination, you have to complement what's missing in the destination, and I think this development is going to have that edge, also complementing.
While asking Nika about the residential, that was not like sort of catchy or tricky questions. I'm really interested to be aware, personally from you, Irakli, what is this all about construct, develop, and running the 5-star hotel? What kind of experience this is?
Well, I don't have any experience on running 5-star hotel, so that's why
Neither do we. I hope we got
gentlemen are here. And from the very beginning, we understand that it's not easy to run a 5-star hotel with 550 rooms, and you need professionals to do it. And the way of collaboration with Rotana is not like franchise collaboration, it's like managed. This property will be fully managed by Rotana team, and from 2026 we were just talking with Philip. We're going to hire a general manager of the property, and then we will start hiring people to run the building. So like the Rotana team will do it. We will just be part of it to support from like legal part and other like organizational part. So,
but at the same time, in regards of business model, hotel construction development is a definitely priority of Pontus company itself. So that's the entire business model of yours. Yes, am I right?
Exactly. Like we have strategic approach, and we want to deliver more 5-star hotels in Georgian market. We were just discussing the opportunities in Georgian market, that there is lack of something in market, and we see this lack of like service and some other parts as a big opportunity to deliver to the market. To construct 5-star hotel with 550 rooms is working together with 15 companies on the same time and working with 5 departments from Rotana. F&B department, engineers, guest relationship, designers team, working on a daily basis with companies from Georgia, from Turkey.
It's full engagement, correct?
Yeah, it's full engagement. But it goes back to Eddie's point, and I think everything that you're hearing, which is the same thing from all of us, the owner and the operator have to be interlinked in everything they do.
And they are.
And they are. We're completely. I mean, we're so engaged with this team, and as we go forward, we're going to get more and more and more engaged, right? Until we put somebody on the ground who then will act on behalf of both us and the owners, because that person will need to be guiding both sides as to what we need to provide and what owners needs to be involved in. And I think this is where, in our industry, the hotel industry, this is where it goes wrong. That's why, to Eddie's point, the partnership that we have with the developer, with the owner, is so critical, because it's not just a short-term engagement, it's a long-term relationship. You know, we're like the Middle Ages, we're building cathedrals. This is a 30, 40, 50-year business. So how we're engaged from the beginning is critical to the long-term success.
I'll just add to Mr. Phillips' point that on top of aligning the interests of Rotana as a brand and us as a developers, we created a business model that make it possible for the outside investors in Georgia and worldwide to enjoy our project and to invest in our project and to align their interests also together with our interests, which is to operate on the high efficiency and in the high profitability, the hotel infrastructure that we are creating. So actually, to say a couple of words about the business model, in our hotel we have opened up a hotel rooms for the investment for the investors worldwide. And it's like owning a commercial asset. But it's one thing to have a commercial asset, it's another thing to have commercial asset which is being rented out, and it's a third to have commercial asset which is being rented out to the group of experts who know what they are doing for the last 35 years in the hospitality business. So it's a privilege, I would say, to own the asset like this, which is delivering a profitability which is above the market with a lower risk than the normal risks that you encounter in the real estate business.
Exactly. Last but not the least, you mentioned about some further discussion with Rotana Group in regards of upcoming projects you plan. Could you be so kind to share with us some, maybe not the details, but some highlights of the projects, Pontus development plans to develop in the nearest?
Yeah, first and most important location is capital city and Tbilisi, and we are looking forward to deliver some new projects in Tbilisi. We are in close negotiation with some private owners and with the government as well to have some possibilities. We were just discussing the advantages and disadvantages of like being in the central part of the capital city, or it can be either it can be like suburban location. So Tbilisi is on the first priority list. Then we have, you know, like we are discussing, and Georgia is good for skiing, right? And the people from Middle East, and this was also a strategic approach from the very beginning, that people from Middle East, they want to ski, they want to enjoy the winter resorts as well. So like we prepare ourselves for winter resorts as well, and not only winter resorts. Like it can be other cities like Kobuleti, maybe some projects in Kutaisi or near Kutaisi. We will present you. You're going to be the first one from media who know about our new projects.
Tell me by my next visit to Gonio, to Pontus Rotana Gonio project, where this building is going to be. It's already on the 7th floor, correct?
9th floor.
9th floor now?
Yeah, it's 9th floor.
From the bottom, okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be done it's for my next visit here?
No. no, we're gonna be
You want
faster.
to visit-
We're gonna be faster. No, no.
Well, you need to tell us when your next visit is.
You're coming next week? No.
Not next week, but in a few months. I think definitely it goes in a way, just like within a year, the concrete
part is gonna be
construction is going to be
finished.
done.
Yes, it's like almost 2 floors each month is going to be completed. It's a pace that we are having as of now. So in 12 months, the concrete part will be fully finished, and simultaneously the internal works of the MEP and some other directions.
Design as well, yeah?
Yes,
And
exactly. It's
outdoor.
going to also, yeah. start.
Georgi, the finishing concrete part is nothing.
No,
Yeah.
I don't-
when the work starts.
it's the beginning. It's the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let's go and see some
Sure.
details of the project. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Georgi.
That's important. Yeah.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.